Hello and welcome to Brodual. This time we have Disparity. This is a character creation overhaul that focuses on diversity. It takes inspiration from previous Elder Scrolls games and reintroduces a traditional class system. It also adjusts the starting skills, attributes and more based on both race and gender, to offer even more diversity among the different races in the game. Unlike some other character creation overhauls, everything is handled through a mod menu. So you can start your game and create your character as usual, or even use a mod like Alternate Start, Live Another Life. Then as soon as you're done building your character's appearance, you can head straight into the mod menu to choose your class, as long as you want one. The mod introduces several new disparities between the races and genders. This includes your starting health, magicka and stamina, as well as your regen rates. Your race and gender will also affect your speed, carry weight, unarmed damage, and even how naturally intimidating you are. This is basically applying real life logic to the different stats. So it's assumed that if you're a lean Khajiit, you're going to be quicker than a bulky Nord, and you're going to be more intimidating as a big ugly orc when compared to a smaller female Breton. Your character's weight will also play a role to change these stats. So for example, heavier characters will potentially have higher physical damage, carry weight and intimidation. But exactly what your weight affects depends on what you select in the mod menu. What's great is that it combos excellently with the Pumping Iron mod by Gopher, which makes your character's weight grow alongside your warrior skills. So as your character grows throughout a playthrough, you won't only notice an appearance change, but also a direct change in your character's abilities. The mod also automatically adjusts each race's height so it's more in line with the previous games in the Elder Scrolls series. In vanilla Skyrim they're all very even, but now you'll be able to clearly see a difference between the shorter and taller races. A similar but less noticeable effect is also applied between the genders, so male should be a bit taller on average. All of these new disparities come together to make your character even more unique. And what's great is that they're also applied to NPCs too, including your followers. As you can see on screen now, all of these features are completely optional, so if you don't want any of these stats affected, then just toggle it off. The mod also completely revamps the racial skill bonuses and abilities. The skill bonuses now start with plus 45 points instead of the 35 in vanilla. Generally these have been spread out in a similar fashion to the base game, so high elves still only come with magical bonuses, and Nords and Orcs are still purely warrior focused. One of the biggest changes here comes in the form of an optional feature for character growth. You can now set it so your starting bonuses reflect on how fast your character gains experience in those fields. So it applies the logic that your race is clearly naturally talented in certain areas, so therefore you should gain experience faster in those areas too. So again, high elves will naturally progress faster when practicing magic, which makes sense. The boost in experience depends on the starting level, so as an orc you start with 25 points in heavy armor, so you'll receive a 25% XP boost for that tree. The racial skills have all been standardized to generally give 3 passive bonuses. Usually race mods try to add even more abilities, but as a player who often forgets to use my dailies, I'm glad they've been replaced with more passives. The passives generally fall in areas you'd expect them to, but they also have more of an effect when compared to vanilla. So for example, Argonians receive water breathing in vanilla, but with the mod they also swim faster too. So it basically makes their trademark passives more noticeable. So a Khajiit's night vision is now permanent and on a toggle, and orcs still go berserk, but for a short period at the start of every battle. Now this is where the class system comes in. Classes are optional, but if you do decide to take one, then you have a total of 21 to choose from, with 7 falling under each category. They range from pure classes like healers and sorcerers in the mage category, to knights and barbarians in the warrior category, and finally to assassins and agents in the thief category. However, there's also a few hybrids, like spell swords, scouts and pilgrims, where their starting bonuses are spread out across 2 or more tree types. The interesting thing about the classes is that how much they affect your character depends entirely on you. You can have their starting bonuses completely replace your racial bonuses. So you can have your Nord be a sorcerer and he'll lose his natural warrior tendencies, which has the potential for great roleplaying. You can even have the classes use up to a 100 skill point bonus right at the very start, with a max of 20 going in each category. Each class comes with a default layout, but you have control over how the points are spent, so you can effectively build your own class. Another option you have is to make the class skill bonuses only affect your XP rate. So you keep all your racial bonuses, but receive a boost to experience gained in the trees that your class focuses on. So if you're building into a sorcerer, leveling trees like destruction will be faster. On top of that, classes come with attribute bonuses. First there's your specialization, which gives a flat 20% XP boost in either the mage, warrior or thief trees. Then there's your primary attribute, which gives a bonus in either health, magicka or stamina. And finally there's your second attribute, which gives a unique bonus entirely. Under more info you'll be able to see exactly what they give, and they range from anything like stagger resistances, to bartering bonuses, to even boosts in speed. And finally you can also select from a variety of different starting spells and also your starting gear. Keep in mind that these are all entirely optional, so you can choose to have all, any or none of these features. However, having the option there can lead to some pretty interesting results. You can give a hefty boost to your experience in certain fields, which you might find useful if you play on a higher difficulty with some of the bigger overhauls. And as I said, it's also great for roleplaying. Finally, the last major change from the mod comes with the standing stones. Generally these changes stay true to vanilla, but because your specialization essentially takes over the mage, warrior and thief stones with its 20% XP boost, the mod changes those quite significantly. The mage and warrior stones now give a 10% boost to spells and physical damage respectively. The thief stone however is more unique and offers a 10% boost to luck. Luck is a new feature that gives you a percentage chance in various random areas, so you're 10% more likely to receive gold, gems and better loot. There's also a 10% higher chance for critical hits, pickpocket chance, spell duration, arrow recovery, bribe amount and many others, so that adds a bit of spontaneity to stealthy characters. Overall, we're really excited to try this one out properly during our next playthrough. If you're interested in the exact specifics of each change, including every single percentage, then be sure to check out the mod page where the author has created some handy charts. This is almost definitely the best character creation overhaul for roleplaying so far, purely just with the amount of options and controllable features which go above and beyond the average mod. In terms of compatibility, you shouldn't have too many issues as long as you're aware of exactly what the other mod changes, because once you work it out you can just toggle any conflicting features off in the mod menu. Just before we end today's spotlight, we'd like to shout out the Opinion Outpost for sponsoring this episode. If you're looking for a quick way to get some cash, then you can try the Opinion Outpost by clicking the link in the description below. They're a survey site where you offer yourself to answer some questions on topics you're interested in, like gaming or tech, and then in return you can exchange your time for some great prizes or even just cash. By using the link down below, you'll also receive a $2 bonus for filling out your first survey. So if you still haven't picked up the Skyrim DLC, or maybe you just want to support a mod author with a donation, maybe the Opinion Outpost can help. As always, if you're interested in today's mod, you can find a link down below, and be sure to leave an endorsement on any mod you enjoy, and thanks for watching.